On the Clock fans, you're listening to another episode with your hosts Raul Lascano and George Martinez as they square off and tackle all of today's hot topics in sports news, trends, current issues happening locally and nationally, as well as highlighting some of our local student athletes across the Sunshine State. Now, welcome your hosts Raul Lascano and George Martinez. You're on the clock.
What's going on? February 8th, the day after the Super Bowl, the Bucs win. I think they're still partying here in Tampa, man. I think this is the only subject we need to talk about the entire time. And if you're watching live, if you're on YouTube, hit subscribe, hit like, hit comment. But today is the day of what we call Tampa Bay. I think this will be officially a day off for all Tampa fans. I don't think anybody's at work right now. They're still probably partying downtown in Tampa, man. So congratulations to the Bucs in Tampa for doing what they did, and especially that Bucs defense. We got to talk about it, man. How are you doing today, sir? How's your day? What's going on with you?
Today's a great day. The Bucs are champs. The wife, when I woke up this morning, the wife goes, "It wasn't a dream." Part of me was happy.
In the Matrix. Yeah, you weren't in the Matrix.
Part of me was happy. Part of me was upset because if it was a dream, I was going to go to the bookie and bet the score 31-9. And I would have won for Hookos.
Get the money. Yeah. Get the money.
Bag. But you know what, man? History was made last night. First team to host their own Super Bowl. Now they're the first team to ever win.
Yep.
One as well.
Yep.
It just feels good, man. How was your weekend, though? Before we get into how much you hate the Bucs.
I don't hate the Bucs. Why does everybody say that? Because I put a little comments here and there. You know what I mean? I don't hate the Bucs. Everything's good. What I didn't like was the ticky-tack. That's all I didn't like. I didn't like the ticky-tack. I think you let it's a championship game. You let them play. That's all. That's all I was saying. Everybody jumped on my back. I'm like, the NFL did not have to help these guys. These referees did not. Those were ticky-tack calls, man. Those are things that you call like in week 2, week 3. They were super tight on KC.
Now, for those that may have missed it, which I don't know many that did, we're talking about the flags on the Chiefs defense against the Bucs offense early in that second quarter. There was a couple flags there. I know on the pick six or the interception that Tom Brady threw, they got tipped at the line or something was intercepted. They called holding on whoever was covering Evans. I think it was Charlie Ward or Charles Ward or something like
20,
that. 35, yeah. I was covering Evans. That one, I agree.
It's a little ticky-tack.
That one I agree. The one in the end zone with Tyrann Mathieu and Evans, they got mixed up in there. Again, Brady threw the ball inside intentionally. I think Brady was trying to draw the flag by throwing it inside, and Mike Evans tried to fight his way inside. I can see that one being called, but I can also see it not being called. Okay. I think I would have been okay with either way. Right. Obviously it went the other way. But
it super went the other way.
with the flags, I still want to talk about how bad the Chiefs offense played. As great as they have been, as bad as the Bucs secondary, not the rush, because we've always talked about the Bucs have had great run defense.
Right.
The Chiefs offensively looked, I hate to say it, but they looked slow.
Well, it looks like they didn't. It looks like they, I don't know. I want to say slow. It just looks like your front four just dominated the problems that were up front. Mahomes was on his freaking back all night, running around for his life. There was nothing he could freaking do. And kudos to this kid. I don't know. I got to put this out there. When he was falling down,
and he threw the one in the end zone,
shots a 30-yard freaking pass,
and it hits Tyreek Hill in the helmet,
right in the fucking helmet.
In the helmet.
It these guys drop passes. Kelsey did look a little sluggish, but I think that's because freaking Devin White, Levante David just smashing this dude. I mean, pieces after piece. Every time he touched the ball, it wasn't a tackle. They were hitting this guy. They were hitting him to put him down. But they did, man. I think the play calling was sluggish. I don't know. I feel bad for the Chiefs offensively because there was nothing Mahomes could do. And he was limping a lot too, man.
He was running for his
just
life.
dominant. It was just dominant.
Was running. Shaq Barrett was getting a great jump off the edge, which,
Right.
So a couple things I was shocked on. Chiefs really didn't go on 2 or try any hard count, which
really
Shaquille
didn't.
Barrett gets to at least a game.
Right.
Because
Right.
he's always, he jumps it
Jumping
so
off.
much
Yeah.
that he's going to give two away a game.
At the least. Yeah.
He didn't, and he was getting a great jump. Mahomes was immediately always rolling to one side.
Always.
Immediately, because he knew Shaq was coming. He knew they couldn't
Right.
block him. So if that's happening to you, why didn't the Chiefs do something the Bucs do, which they say, you know what, Gronk, come in here. Come in and go block.
Yeah.
Come in here and go block.
Well, now just block one-on-one with the defensive end. Block one-on-one. And
Whoever's
Gronk shows
coming.
you what his 6'7" frame can do.
I mean, that guy played right tackle. That guy's played left tackle. I mean,
Yeah.
he's helped Donovan Smith all
Right.
year on that left side to help him because that's our weakest lineman, right?
Right.
But why wasn't there any of that? Why did the
know.
Chiefs play hard head and say we're still going to go 3 and 4 wide,
Right.
and try to beat you that way?
I don't know. And then there wasn't enough screens because the freaking defensive line's coming. I told you after we watched the game was if the defensive line is moving like that, if these guys are doing what they're, they've been progressing after you've played them, why not hurry up huddle the freaking first quarter? Just let's get these guys, let's wear them down a little bit. It looked like to me the Chiefs went into this game like, nope, not changing anything we did last time. We're doing this. This got us the win. We're not changing nothing. We're just going to call the same plays and still do. Now, Kelsey across the middle was still open. Tyreek Hill coming across. They didn't motion him to try to get him, in coverage on drags and mesh routes. They didn't try to do anything.
Very stagnant offense.
Right. This looked like a very simple based offense, and the defense against the Bucs defense, they're gonna crush you. They're gonna fucking crush you if you're gonna play basic offense against them. They're just gonna dominate over you.
The Bucs defensive speed
Is underrated.
showed up. It showed up, and it was underrated because you saw. I mean, you said it.
Yeah.
There was like, oh, Tyreek Hill caught a pass. Okay, here we go. Oh, there's Devin White immediately closing on him. Kelsey caught a couple, but he also had a couple drops. And I thought the thing that doesn't get talked a lot about was, Devontae David did not show up a whole ton on the stat sheet. You really didn't see him make Levante David plays. However, what you did not see was Kelsey run all over the yard because Devontae was guarding him one-on-one majority of the game. The Bucs played, and I was telling you this last night, the Bucs played a basketball version of boxing one.
That's it.
They were going to double Tyreek Hill the entire night.
Mm-hmm.
They were going to leave Levante one-on-one with Kelsey. Devin White was just going to roam that short middle of the field. And you're going to have Antoine Winfield, which thank goodness he came back.
Oh my God.
He was going to roam the entire secondary.
Right.
His job was follow Tyreek Hill
Wherever he goes.
and the Bucs were 30 yards off.
Mm-hmm.
Those stages was 30 yards off.
Yep.
To make sure he did not get behind him. I never saw him get behind him.
Yep. And again, bro, Todd Bowles, the defense, way to scheme it. I'm sure the head coach has something to talk about. I just don't. To me, it didn't look like offensively they came in there with a new plan to do something to throw the Bucs off. It didn't look like anything. It didn't look like they watched film on what the Bucs did against, the Washington football team, the freaking Saints, the Packers. It didn't look like they did anything. You know what I mean?
So it's gonna be a rough day for you today, Raul.
Why is that?
Because you can't see the comments that I can see. People are going ham.
Good.
On you complaining about the refs.
If they are, then those are the Buck fans.
So Evan, one thing Bushman brought up. Hey, there you
Coors Light. Oh Oh boy.
But no, so what he did bring up a good point. So the Bucs most of the year have been a single safety high look.
Yeah.
They played more too high today or last night. More too high than they had the entire year. Shout out to Stacey Gage for joining the show. What's up, Stacey?
Hey, Stacey, you need to jump on here. Happy birthday to that young man. You know today's his
Yeah,
birthday.
happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday
14?
to 15.
15.
He's
Man.
15 now, bro.
Man.
15 IMG star
Phenom.
running back, man. Love that kid, man.
But yeah, we played too high, which
you
we
did.
played too high against KC probably 80% of the game.
Oh yeah, of course. Why not?
When people were like, oh, you cannot blitz KC. You cannot blitz KC. If you blitz KC,
No.
it's going to cost you. The Bucs did a great job of playing zone defense because we played zone defense majority of the game also,
Right.
and blitzing offensive. You saw Jamal Dean almost Patrick Mahomes. So there was a play where Sean Murphy Bunting is covering Tyreek Hill.
Yes.
He goes in motion. Right, Tyreek Hill goes from right to left to set up on the left-hand side. Sean Bunting comes off the edge. Like he is coming. He is screaming off the edge. And Mahomes just gets rid of it. He almost threw that ball to Jamal Dean. Had he thrown it on target, Jamal Dean pick six it. But luckily, Mahomes threw it off target.
Yeah, and
It looked like he was
get
mostly
it.
trying to get rid of it. But the Bucs were after him. JP
Bro,
played a great game.
There was
Shaq
nothing.
Barrett.
They did not do anything to throw the Bucs off. They did not do anything to throw. I mean, you knew. I don't know. You knew that they were going to. I don't know. After the first half, they didn't make any adjustments. The second half, they didn't even try to okay, we're going to screen it. We're going to get some more rub routes going on. We're going to try to motion. Nothing, bro. Like they just said, "F it. This is what we're doing. Here you go. This is what we got going on." You know what I mean? El Bushman, I can see right now. Roller Scott, the refs called. They said it's okay. El Bushman, you're a true Bucs fan, so I don't expect Bucs fans to see it that way. I'm not a Chiefs fan. I'm not a Bucs fan either. But it was ticky-tack calls. Anybody that knows football, coach football, and seen it, it was little ticky-tack. Now imagine that was the other way around. Right. Imagine you guys got Kansas City on 3rd and long, and they call a bullshit ticky-tack foul on Carlton Davis or Winfield on a little hole. Like that's either way it would have went. I don't like how it went. It could have gone against the Bucs, and they could have got the refs calls. This is the Super Bowl. Right. Like ticky, those are. You knew it was bad, and I'm gonna bring this up because El Bushman's trying to bully me right now. It's bad when you go jaw jacking with Tom Brady and you get a penalty. You can tell me what you want.
You cannot jaw jack the GOAT.
Everybody knows
just
it.
Like ain't no damn Buck was talking shit to Mahomes for the same reason. You don't do it.
Well, if you guys talk shit to Mahomes, you wouldn't have got no call. But Tom Brady, this is what I'm talking about. Like that's ticky tack. To me, that's petty. You know how much jaw jacking goes on in a football game? Trash talking, bullshitting between receivers and DBs and D linemen, O linemen. Your guy Jensen is one of the he's a beautiful center. But don't tell me he's not fucking nasty. Like this dude is nasty and he don't get no calls. Nothing.
Yeah, but he's been like that forever. He was like that when James was here and he still wasn't getting nothing called on.
But that's what I'm saying, bro. Like this dude is jaw jacking. You don't get 15 for that. You know what I mean? I don't think that's a worthy penalty. I don't think Winfield should get penalized for the peace sign.
Which
I didn't think he should get penalized.
How epic. How
full
epic
circle.
And well timed.
If you want a dictionary, if you ever want to know the definition of karma, that was
it's it right there, boy.
That was it right there. That's fucking karma right there.
So for those that didn't, I don't know if you guys watched the first matchup between the Bucs and the Chiefs. One of Tyreek Hill's many catches and touchdowns in that game, he gave Antoine Winfield a peace sign. That's what his new Taurus is for because he runs so fast that everybody's always behind him. He's like deuces, game, it's over.
It's epic.
And so now, fast forward to last night. It's 4th and forever to go. Mahomes throws one up.
And he heaves one up.
To Tyreek Hill. It's incomplete. And so Tyreek Hill falls down.
Yeah.
from diving up to go try to catch it. Antoine Winfield is crouched down, waiting for Tyreek Hill to get up. He's
Why
sitting
not?
there looking at him like, bro, get up.
Yeah.
So as he gets up, he looks at him. I mean, he looked at him right in the eye too. Wasn't even like he was trying to hide it. Looked at that dude face to face, said,
that motherfucker just
deuces.
He's like, what the fuck? Like, but do you see Tyreek Hill's face?
Yeah.
He's smiling and laughing.
Right.
Like he knows what it's for.
It's gamemanship. Yeah.
He knows it's football.
Yeah.
That's why throwing the fucking flag is like, come on, this is fucking petty right now. You know what I mean? This is why. And again, the Bucs still win last night. Like I'm not saying the refs, the Chiefs win because of these.
So let's talk about the
still
penalties. So because one thing, and you've mentioned it. So let's talk about the penalties and what it led to.
Okay.
The first penalty early in the game led to a field goal attempt.
Yeah.
The Bucs were going to kick a field goal. It happened. We got a third down penalty. That's a Mike Evans tip pass situation that led to a field goal. That then Kansas City jumps off sides. Right, and they were playing off sides. That guy was coming off the edge. Was a full helmet across the line.
It was blatant. Yeah.
Now that 5-yard penalty led into a touchdown.
Right.
But that's the ref's fault. That's the refs helping.
Nope. That one I totally understand.
That led to points.
Because that's the blatant obvious one. Continue.
The other two led to what?
Touchdowns.
Touchdowns. The Mike Evans one?
When the Mike Evans one threw over his head, it moved half the distance to the inch of the touchdown.
Is that the one we went? Is that the one we scored with Antonio Brown?
Yes. That's the one you scored with Antonio Brown, which, by the way, he routed the guy up. That fucking route was amazing. The same guy that now, listen, after a touchdown, listen, wait.
Yeah, I know where you're going.
After he scores a touchdown, he's getting up and he's trying to get his arm out of Antonio Brown's, which, whatever. He's jaw jacking. The Bucs are over there. Get off, get away. And you're going to do that with your guy. Get off my guy. Get off. You're going to talk some shit. He puts his finger on Tom Brady's mask, like, whatever, motherfucker, like, and he jogs off. Tom Brady runs him down to talk some more shit. The fucking KC guy gets the penalty. Are you, George? That's fucking petty.
That is.
Those are petty calls.
That one.
Gronk scores a touchdown. Gronk scores a touchdown. Gronk scores, and again, this was nothing. This wasn't a penalty that led into the touchdown.
Anything, right?
Gronk scores a touchdown. On the other side, they call holding. What the? That has nothing. That's not impacting the play.
Yeah, but they don't ref that way. In the NFL, they don't ref that way, and you know that. They're gonna. If there's a holding anywhere on the field, in high school. There's the advantage, disadvantage situation, right? If it gives a kid an advantage.
Every play, there's somebody holding. There's every play.
Oh, you can call holding on every play in football.
On every play of football, everybody's holding. So stop with the freaking, I see the comments, well, they're holding and they didn't call it. Stop it. Every play is a holding play, a run play, passing play.
Listen,
every
JPP and Shaq Barrett was almost being held in a chokehold to stop them from getting away to Mahomes. And you never saw a holding call on the Chiefs' offensive line.
You didn't, and I get that. That's why everybody's gonna run. Well, they didn't call this, they didn't call that. They didn't have to because they were fucking them on the other side of the ball. They were fucking getting these guys. They didn't have to do it blatantly both sides of the ball. But bro, there's no way. Like 3rd and 14, that's a ticky tack fucking holding call. The one on and 2 of them for Mike Evans because Mike Evans twice.
Yeah, no. Now there's one. Where and this is a old DB trick. This is a DB trick that we teach kids day one of practice. If you get beat,
you pull.
You give up the 15.
You pull. Yeah.
You don't give away the touchdown.
Don't give the touchdown. Yeah.
So pull. That guy, he was beat. He dove to swipe at Evans' legs.
Oh no, I'm not talking about that one. I'm not talking about that one. I'm cool with that one.
That would have been
I'm cool with that. Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Evans had him beat.
Yeah. You gotta fucking hit his legs. I'm cool with that. I'm not mad about that one. The one I'm talking about is when the DB is hitting up on the shoulders of Evans. Okay, hitting up on the shoulders. Evans turns to do like I guess a hitch or whatever it was, and there's no jersey being pulled. There's nothing being grabbed. What did he hold? That's a ticky tack. That's a ticky tack call. Like to me, that's like if I don't see the jersey pulled, I'm not calling that. That's just me.
Right.
But they call, I'm like, fuck, it extends the drive. 2 plays later, Gronk scores a touchdown. And then another holding call on the other side of the play, on the same play, holding call on the other side. So then they assess it on the kickoff. You know what I mean? Like, it was just like, fuck. The first half was like, second half, everything kind of calmed down. Like, well, we're good now. Let's coast and see what we got here, boys. And they called normal penalties that you would call, that I agree with. They were, yeah, those are penalties. You know what I mean? But fuck. You know what I mean? The defense played well. You got to score touchdowns. Mahomes and them couldn't even pinch the bitch. They couldn't get there. They couldn't. The only touchdown they had was when they landed in Tampa. That's the only touchdown.
That was the only touchdown they had. It was a plane landing.
Plane landing. But no, I'm not a Bucs hater. I want to see a Super Bowl, which, by the way, in our podcast, I think it was 2 weeks ago or last one, I said I just don't want to see the flags. I don't want to see the flags coming out for Tom Brady. And that's what I did not want to see.
So how many bad calls were there, in your opinion?
I think there was 4 bad calls, 2 of them leading into touchdowns for the Bucs. I think you guys still win. I think it's 17-9, 29, something like that. Like, you guys still win the game. You guys still do it because there was no defensive fucking. There was you could have had the Hall of Fame, Canton, Ohio Hall of Fame players playing on offense, and your fucking defense still would have stopped them. You know what I mean? They just did that good.
How impressive was that, considering how bad the Bucs played the first time?
I think it was significant, man. I mean, now here's I'm gonna ask this question, but don't be mad at me. Were the 2 starting tackles playing the first game?
Yeah. No, well, one of them was. The other one did not play. Because the other one's been out since before that. Yeah, but we also didn't have Vita. Vita did not play that game either.
You didn't play that game
and people underestimate Vita Vea and what he does, because he commands a double team every single time.
He does, but I think the mentality of what the Bucs wanted to do before they played him till now was completely different.
Oh, it was for sure.
It was super aggressive. Like, we're gonna fucking put our balls out here.
Mm-hmm.
We're this is how we're playing, and they got to stop it. You know what I mean? I don't know. Let me read this because I see this guy.
Yeah, it was the first time was a bad game for the first quarter. Talking about the Bucs Chiefs, the first matchup. The Bucs got blown out the first quarter, and then they outscored KC 24-7 the rest of the way.
They did, but and that's where I think the Bucs found out. Oh, you know what? We switched to this type of defense. Let's try to do this more in the Super Bowl. And that just comes from good coaching. I think KC did a horrible job coaching. They're calling timeouts.
Todd Bowles did a great job of scheming away to, and Todd Bowles has got to get a ton of credit. Yeah. This guy went against. Think about this: 3 of your 4 games,
right,
was Breeze, Rodgers, Mahomes.
Yes,
and the Bucs did a very good job against Drew Brees.
Mm-hmm.
I thought did a great job against Aaron Rodgers.
But those guys were able to put touchdowns in the end zone.
They were played even a better offense. And you played a better offense than all of them, probably even combined.
They were able to score.
Kelsey looked, like you said, looked beat up.
He looked beat up, bro.
I mean, the Bucs were hitting. I mean, there's one play that there's Mahomes gets hit by Sue, Vita Vea, and Shaquille Barrett at the same time. Yeah. There was a flag thrown, I mind you, for roughing the quarterback because he was hit too hard onto the ground.
No, it was 800 pounds fucking helmet.
When 800 pounds of men fucking
it was fucking helmet to helmet when they fucking killed that kid. I'm sure he's feeling that. But again, they fucking played aggressive. There's nothing you can't be mad at a good defense. They did what they're supposed to do. These guys telling me, "Ro, you're crying about refs." No, man, I'm not crying about the refs. Crying about the refs is like, oh my God, the only reason the Bucs won was because of the refs. I didn't say that. What I'm saying is the Tampa is talented. They didn't need this fucking ticky-tack calls. They were going to fucking win the game anyway. You could tell it in the first quarter. At the end of the first quarter, I was like, Chiefs got nothing. They got nothing for them. They have no way to slow this shit down.
And you mentioned that. So here's the other thing that I'm shocked about. Why no trick plays from KC to try a spark? Normally,
I don't know.
When you're playing like that offensively, you need a jolt. Yeah. You need something to get you going.
Right.
As creative, I mean, that's the one thing that was being talked about the entire time was how creative this KC offense was, and
Right.
how they do so many different special things.
And then Andy Reid and Eric
This little-
Bieniemy, all
This
that.
little spinny offense they had, where
remember,
the three guys spin around to like a single wing kind of
Yeah.
offense. Shovel passes. I mean, I did
Nothing.
not see any creativity. Now, part of that you got to think has to do with the lack of tackles in the game. They felt they weren't going to have the time for maybe some of these creative deep shots, but you didn't even see Mahomes push the ball down the field to challenge the Bucs vertically and to say, hey, you got him covered. I'm still going to take the shot.
Yeah. Again, that I agree with you. Where was the creativity? Where was this Andy Reid beautiful offense that
especially you had 2 weeks to prepare. So you knew for 2 weeks you were not going to have the tackles. People and Norm
about it. Yeah.
Norm, thanks for joining the show. And Norm's like, they had no linemen. I get that. But you had 2 weeks to prepare an offense and around the guys you have.
Right.
To play a game knowing you're not going to have these guys. You played the game against Buffalo. Against Buffalo, that wasn't an issue because the linemen did not play the second half of that game against Buffalo.
Yeah.
And the other one has been gone for a while.
Yep.
So people are like, oh, the linemen, they had no linemen. That wasn't a problem against the Bills when they beat up on the Bills 31-9 or whatever that score was.
Yeah, to me, that one, I get what you're saying. It does make a difference to have your guys in there, but you did have 2 weeks to prepare for whatever the scenario was going to be.
Chip the backs.
Yeah.
You chip the backs. You chip the tight end. Maybe so that way Shaquille and JP are getting hit every time.
Maybe because the Bucs offensive line isn't awesome either, but they are compensated for going
with Gronk. You bring Gronk in, you put Bright in. We've always had one of those two guys helping out whenever we felt there was the need to. But I did not see them do it. And so Norm, I know you're saying 3 linemen went down, only 2 went down. Their center did play against the Bucs. He was there. Eric Fisher, he's been missing for 6 weeks. The other tackle is the one they were missing.
And it makes a difference. It does make a difference. But again, you had 2 weeks, more than 2 weeks, because you knew at the Buffalo game, you're like, well, fuck, we gotta prepare for something. We gotta do something automatically. We gotta figure this out. You had time to prepare, and like we said, you bring in extra linemen, you bring in a tight end, you make Kelsey block down.
You put 2 backs. So hold on a second.
Yeah,
didn't Le'Veon Bell play in this game yesterday?
I don't remember seeing him. I don't remember seeing that kid at all.
I mean, Damian Williams. Where was Hilaire? The young stout running back from LSU. They got drafted in the first round.
He has good runs. He has some good runs.
But why weren't these guys in pass protection? If you have an issue with your tackles, you know that. And again, bro, you and I are coaching. You know you got weak tackles. You got to chip.
Send them over to help.
You're going to chip. You're going to roll the pocket.
Yeah,
roll the pockets. That way Mahomes can get outside the pocket, which is what he does well.
And this is another thing. Let me tell you how I'm raising my sons correctly. Let me tell you how I'm raising my sons right. Jordan and Jaden are sitting there looking at the running backs like, oh my! When Shaq Barrett came around the edge by himself and freaking sacks, both my sons go, that's the running back's fault. He should have chipped him on his way out to go to the route. He should have chipped him. He sidestepped him to get into his route.
Right. He was more concerned with the speed of his route to get out there than he was on, hey, let Shaquille Barrett's been him, my quarterback, the entire day. Let me give him a shoulder. Because if I'm KC, I'm using those backs saying you hit the ribs of Shaquille Barrett and JPP when you come out, and you jam those damn ribs to slow them down, because the middle got occupied. Sue and Vita Vea were playing 3-on-2. Right, because the guards and centers had them occupied. So it left Shaquille Barrett and JPP 1-on-1 the entire game. And the fact that the Chiefs did not respect our defensive ends that much to say we got to chip them says more about their preparation and how they thought the Bucs defense line was going to play more than anything else.
Right. And again, if KC's starters were in, I still think the defense fucks them up.
I think so too. And Henry brings up a good point.
The way they played.
So Henry, thanks for joining the show. So here's Henry's comment here. Didn't matter.
This is beautiful. We should do this. Just keep doing this shit. Like, this is awesome.
It didn't matter who played D-line. or O line for the KC. The Bucs D line are damn near all pros. Double team one of them, the other three are going to get you. And again, that's the Vita Vea effect.
Factor. Yeah, that's
because him coming back played huge dividends for the Bucs in the second go around.
I really love this right here. Like that Henry. This is beautiful.
Look at the picture though. Look at that picture.
Yeah, he is intimidating. Poor Chris and his son
and Jordan.
Jesus, that's pop. But I mean, that's beautiful keeping that up there. That's awesome. You must have just learned that feature right now. Did you listen? Yeah,
every now and then.
Better pick that up on the fly.
Yeah.
But you're absolutely right. Everything you're saying is correct. I'm not saying KC should have won this game, but what I do think is like you should have done more than what you did not help Mahomes at all. Like you didn't find ways to get him blocking. You didn't find ways to get receivers open. The running game seemed to be working a little bit in the second half, which makes me think, why not try to do in the first half?
Well, you know, a lot of those rushing yards in the first half was Mahomes running for his life and picking up 10, picking up 7. That was the guy. The Bucs were willing to give Mahomes the running lanes. That's the one thing the Bucs were willing to give away. The Bucs said, if we can't get to you, we're going to play coverage and let you pick up 7 because we don't think you can do that consistently down the goal for the Bucs was make KC
run the ball in the first half.
I agree.
Why not?
Well, I mean, because you're playing against the number 1 ranked rush defense in the NFL.
Bro, let me tell you something.
And everybody's tried.
That running back picked up some great runs on you guys in the second half.
Yeah, but at that point, the Bucs are playing prevent. The Bucs are playing a little softer coverage. They're trying to keep everything in front of you. You're making them drive.
No, I think you could establish that run to help bite down safeties, to help bite down linebackers.
I don't think Winfield or any of those safeties had any bit. They were told you are not responsible for the run. You were responsible for Tyreek Hill.
In the second half, you see Winfield coming down hard
a little bit. Yeah, you saw him
try to make time. He got juked, and they make a first down.
Yeah,
but those are things. But again, I don't know where this creativity went because it wasn't there. It was not there whatsoever. So we'll see, man. And again, it is what it is. That defense bite. I just don't think it's a 31-9 blowout. I don't think it's a blowout like the way it is. I think it's a little closer game. But
so the other thing we're going to get into, and Henry, another good comment. The Bucs even blitz their linebackers. Again, they got pressure with the front 4. That front 4 allowed them to play coverage and keep their eyes on Kelsey.
I don't even think they, even without the front 4 playing so dominant, I don't think they could have blitzed their linebackers because, like you said, they got to cover Kelsey.
We got to cover Kelsey. We got to keep our eyes on Hill.
Blanket him. Yeah.
I mean, at some point, Hill was almost triple covered because you had Devin White looking at him underneath. You had the DB that was on him, and then you had Antoine Winfield over the top. Every single play, all 3 guys. Now, what I'm a little, I guess, questioning is where was Sammy Watkins? Where was Hardman? These are the other guys the Chiefs have on offense.
Harmon was freaking stinking up the first quarter, and Watkins didn't get a catch till the third or fourth quarter, which makes you wonder:
is that Mahomes' fault or is that the receiver's fault? Who's that? Is that Mahomes looking one way specifically? Because we saw Brady do it, and we'll get into Brady and the Bucs offense in a little bit. But is Mahomes the same way Brady was with the Bucs? And hey, I got guys that I trust; those are guys that I'm looking for, and Tyreek Hill and Kelsey. And there wasn't a third option you went to.
It was opposite of what we thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
We thought he was going to work in everybody, get to spread the ball. It did not happen that way. I think Mahomes, every time he dropped back, didn't even look down the field. He's looking at the defense in his face. There was nothing he could do. There was nothing. Wait a minute, was that say you eliminate Hill and Kelsey and you disrupt the game?
The game plan.
All right. Plab. I was going to say he does much better than this. Camilo does much better than this. There you go. Look, thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Oladokin. Thank you. Yeah, focus. At least somebody agrees with me that's a Bucs fan. You know what I'm saying? It's hard these days. But no, it was a shame, man. You like you said, George. You everything we talked about leading up to the Super Bowl did not happen for KC. Nothing they did was anything that we thought might be dynamic. It was a basic offense They did not have to worry about stuff. You covered two guys, and they gave up Kelsey. Kelsey got, I think he was a leading receiver for KC because he got more receptions. But again, those 5-6 dinks, they mean nothing in the long run.
They don't.
They
No,
don't mean
because those 5 or 6 dinks
right
are just 3rd and 15s that he gets
Don't
6
give a
on, and
shit.
you're putting the ball on 4th down.
Right.
I mean, that's
exactly.
what those are. They're not anything of relevance.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And again, shout out to the Bucs defense. They did a great job, man.
Yeah, and like Henry said,
There you go.
Todd Bowles gets a ton of credit. So, and going a little bit off Super Bowl before we get into the Bucs offense and who caught the ball and who did what. There was a comment that Bruce was asked this question about him retiring before the game, and he gave some interesting comments about it that leads people to believe the Bucs are going to do everything they can to try to keep Todd Bowles. Now, again, he may disappear to be a head coach somewhere else, but Bruce Arians went to the matter of saying that he would step down to allow Todd Bowles to become the head coach, and for Bruce to take and Bruce and he would take some of the role on the staff to keep Todd Bowles in Tampa.
I tell you what, man. I tell you what. That's pretty fucking awesome.
It is, isn't it? Because I mean, it's
pretty awesome. But Todd Bowles, I don't think is a. Didn't Todd Bowles be a head coach before?
He was the head coach of the Jets before Adam Gase. It was Bowles, Gase, and whoever they got now. But and Bowles' defense did well. He's not an offensive guy.
And
he's a defensive guy.
That's what hurts him.
So when you pick your staff, that's important, right? Because you got to pick an offensive staff that's going to complement your weakness, right? And Todd Bowles is a defensive guy. His defense was great with the Jets. In Tampa, he has the affordability of having an Evans, a Godwin, a Brown, a Gronk, and a Brady.
Let me ask you this, all you Buck fans. Oh boy. Was this defense better than your 2002 defense?
No.
Really?
No. That Bucs defense in 2002, when they picked the ball off, they scored. They had 6. They scored 6 times in the season. Yeah. You know how crazy it is for a defense to score that many times? Our defense back then scored to help us win games.
Yes, you did. You had no offense.
Our defense back then walked in the game saying, we got to get 1 to win this game by a field goal.
I think this was more impressive than the 2002. I think it was more. I think so. I'll tell you what, because Gruden,
Ronnie Barber shutting down Eagle Stadium on that pick 6 against Don McNabb.
Brady.
There's similarities to it, right? Because you got Eagles that dominated us in the NFC Championship game 3 years in a row, right? Andy Reid.
Yeah,
it was an Andy Reid coach team, and then the Bucs finally get over that hump. Same thing with New Orleans. New Orleans has been kicking our ass for years in the regular season. We finally get a win with them in the playoffs. No, that defensive line. You think this defensive line is scary? That defensive line.
Oh, I remember them. I'm just saying,
Garland and Warren Sapp, Simeon Rice.
I think it was more impressive because of the fact of.
So you're saying more impressive performance?
I think it was a more performance than your last one, because I tell you why. You went through 3 Hall of Fame quarterbacks.
Yeah.
You guys went through 3 and you shredded these motherfuckers. Like it wasn't the only one that I think was Rich Gannon. You guys played in the Super Bowl, but Gruden had
Don
just
McNabb.
Left.
Yeah, you played McNabb.
Come on, when you put him on the level of Breeze, Rodgers, Holmes, even.
Yeah, okay.
He's not up there.
So with that being said, too, though, in the Super Bowl, the Bucs scored. Yeah, Derek Brooks scored a touchdown and pick 6. You got Dexter Jackson.
You don't think there's more? There's gonna be more. Where's Henry? Put Henry's comment up there.
Yeah.
Let me look at this. Henry Oladokin says one of the best defenses in history was 2002. Too many Hall of Famers on that team.
Which, granted, John Lynch just finally made the Hall of Fame.
Devin White's going to be a Hall of Famer. You don't think Levante David? Do you? He's going to be your Bucs Hall of Honor.
I mean, yeah. I mean, in the Bucs Ring of Honor, yeah. But you're talking about Hall of Fame. Warren Sapp, Hall of Fame. Warren Sapp changed. Warren Sapp is what allows guys like Aaron Donald to play football.
Pierre Paul's not going to be in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
I don't believe that. I think he makes the Hall of Fame. I think he makes the Hall of Fame.
No, he missed two. I mean, he's up there in age now. He's peaking again because remember he was out for almost 2 years.
Rondé may never make it for another 10 years.
Rondé will be in the next year. Or next, I think Rondé makes it next year.
Nah, Rondé's not going to make it for another 5-7 years.
I mean, John Lynch just made it, and
Right.
I mean, John Lynch changed the game. He changed the game in a way, yes, for good or bad.
He was just a hard ass hitting goddamn safety.
That's what changed. I mean,
no.
Yeah, because it got softer because of John Lynch. It got softer since then.
That's funny. Yeah, I don't know. That defense was. You guys went through Rodgers. You go through Holmes, and it wasn't just a little bit. It wasn't like
What I was gonna say. So in this playoff run, the Bucs have scored at least 30 points. Do you know the Bucs in the Super Bowl scored 30 points for the first time in 2002? And it was also because the defense scored 3 times in that game. Defense scored 3. The defense, put it this way, that 2002 defense, if the defense had only played the game, it is a tie game at 21-21 because the Bucs won the game 41-21 that day.
And I tell you what, man, this time around, you didn't need that defense to score for you because you had Tom Brady making sure.
You're right.
And everything was going to be fine.
But that's what makes that 2002 defense so much more impressive.
Okay. Well said, I guess. I thought this was more impressive. I thought this Super Bowl run, and I told you this, for Brady's Super Bowl run, it matched when his first Super Bowl run was. It matched it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He got beat in the regular season, and then he comes back and beats you in the freaking Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
It matched it. It's amazing. Who's this? Brian Hollister. Brian Hollister writes on Facebook, John was a head knocker.
Yeah,
yes, he was.
John
but that was the era too.
Yeah.
The era allowed you to be a head rocker.
And Camilo brings up a good point. Rondé made slot corners important.
How do you say this guy's name?
Camilo.
Camilo?
Yes.
Camilo on Facebook says Rondé made the slot corner so important.
Yeah, I mean he's the only guy who has he is 30 for 30. 30 interceptions, 30 sacks. Think about that as a DB.
Why is he not in yet? Because at this point, at this rate.
So, but it took John Lynch a while because remember,
he's going to get it before he does.
Who?
At this rate, if Richard Sherman's going to get in it before Rondé Barber does.
Well, I think Richard Sherman, I don't think Richard, so that's, I mean.
I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. That was being sarcastic. I'm just saying.
No. Please don't go there.
I was just being sarcastic. Yeah.
No, Rondé, again, the Bucs don't get before Brady, even with John Gruden, even with that defense, Bucs just don't get the media attention.
No.
So we Buccaneer fans know the impact that Rondé had. We know the impact Derrick Brooks, Warren Sapp, Simeon Rice, all those guys had on our defense and how they impact the NFL. But the Bucs just aren't a high-level market team. I mean, so I think Rondé gets in. It's just a matter of when he gets in. John Lynch retired a long time ago. John Lynch, I think, if memory serves me right, he's been retired at least 10 puts it in 2011. I think 10 plus. I want to say 08 may have been John Lynch's last year because he played in Broncos when he left Tampa. He played for the Broncos for a little bit.
Right.
Before he took the GM job over at San Francisco a couple years afterwards. But it took John Lynch a while. And Rondé played well after. He played well after. Yeah, he did.
When did Rondé retire?
I want to say Rondé may have retired the year before we drafted Jameis.
Did he really?
Or even the year of Jameis' rookie year. Because I want to say they played together.
Like 5 years ago.
He was just now eligible.
Really?
He just now. Rondé will be Hall of Fame. Here's Oladokin coming back.
The numbers do. Henry Oladokin on Facebook reads, Rondé will be a Hall of Famer in 3 years guaranteed. The numbers speak for itself.
2002 is when he retired.
So that's what I'm saying. It's been a long time.
It's been almost 10 years.
2002?
2012.
Oh, 12.
2012. Yeah,
2012.
2 was only
Okay.
one Super Bowl.
I was like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, Henry O'Dogan, I agree with you. He will be. I'm just thinking about when is this going to happen for the guy. That's what I'm going to think. Camila put up a good one for the MVP. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah. Here you go.
Where's
that's a Hall of Fame. That's Crabtree.
Yeah.
Sherman's only Hall of Fame performance was that interview about Crabtree.
Yeah, this shit was hilarious. This shit was hilarious. So Camila writes, did Brady have an MVP game last night, or did Devin White get robbed? I don't know. What do you think, George?
If the Bucs were going to win the Super Bowl, Breeze was going to get it regardless, in my opinion.
It didn't matter.
However, I do agree with Camilo because now again, you're gonna look at Brady's stat line.
How many
tackles?
Yeah, he was fucking all over the place.
I mean, he was, and he had the interception at the end of the game in the end zone
to seal it.
That sealed it for Tampa. But I mean, he probably go on a limb and say 10 plus tackles.
Who do you pick? Another
he had 8 tackles. He had 8 tackles.
Another one I'm gonna put out there is Gronk. I think Gronk had 2 touchdowns.
That was a guy. So as I was watching the game unfold and I was like, all right, the Bucs are probably going to win. Who's going to win MVP? Right. Offensively, I said it would have been Gronk.
Yeah.
He had 6 catches, 86 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
His blocking that he did, the way he's played the entire way. Defensively, I felt it was either going to be Devin White for sure, or maybe Shaq Barry, who had 2 sacks.
I think 2 sacks.
Almost maybe. 3. So I think it was like 2.5 sacks because I think they all got shared credit on that Mahomes destroy where him and Sue and Vita Vea all collided together to hit him.
That poor Mahomes.
But yeah, no, I think Camille, I think you're right, man. I think White got robbed because it's Brady. I think because it's Brady because he's the GOAT, and
Brady could have thrown 0 touchdowns. He still was going to get MVP.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If the Bucs win the game, regardless.
Yeah,
Brady was going to get it. Now, and this kind of segues into the next thing I want to talk to you about is my disappointment because I am disappointed today. So all night I saw the same 3 things happen. Antonio Brown catch a pass, Gronk catch a pass, and no other Buccaneer catch a pass.
Hand off the ball.
and Fournette run the ball.
Yeah. Listen. This is Brady, and we've been talking about it. Brady's going to go with who he trusts. Brady was going to go with who he trusts. Now, as the game unfolds, I don't know if the game plan was to get Gronk open.
Or did it just happen that way?
I think it just happened that way where Kansas City was like, you know what? Old man Gronk has to show that he can beat us. And fucking Gronk showed up.
Yeah, I mean, because you had Mike Evans had 1 catch for 31 yards, and that was on the 1 dragging route.
1 drag route, yeah.
Godwin finished 2 catches for 9 yards.
That's it.
AB, 5 catches for 22 yards. He didn't have a whole lot either.
No, but they were pivotal first down.
They were pivotal first down. Gronk, 6 for 67 and 2 touchdowns. And Fournette had 4 catches for 46 yards.
But
he played that James White role coming out of the backfield.
Here it goes. What I was going to say. What does that remind you of? Brady. That's all Brady did in New England.
Check down. He checked it down. Mm-hmm.
He went to Edelman, who was his Antonio Brown. He definitely went to Gronk, and he would check down to James White. Those 3. That was all that was going to happen. We knew that for sure that was going to happen. But again, your Bucs, and it's been preached, and you could see it. And for your head coach to even say that they're selfless. Yeah, they don't care who's gonna. As long as we get the
none of them cared who touched the ball.
Right. Let's. We're not talking stats here. We want Super Bowl rings. And that's another.
And Fournette would have been the other guy that I think could have won MVP because Fournette had 16 carries, 89 yards, and a touchdown, and he had 4 catches for 46 yards. He had a 130-yard game.
But the most likely one was going to be Brady. He threw 3.
Yeah, I mean, he threw for 3 touchdowns. He threw for 3 touchdown passes.
Yeah,
that's always going to get you. That's always going to get you when you throw for 3.
Right. Exactly.
No situations there. And yeah, Camilo, did you see the catch that Godwin had going out of bounds?
Fuck.
That was nice.
That one-hander, man. I sat here and was like, if this is good, I'm fucking leaving. If this is good, I'm done watching the Super Bowl. I'm not watching this shit no more.
Yeah,
It was
no,
amazing. The Bucs just they showed up. They did what they're supposed to do for the city. Everybody loved it. That defense was amazing. It's just a shame that KC. This looked like Tyson fighting an infant. It didn't look anything like we thought it was going to be, man. Which is unfortunate. You know what I mean? It's unfortunate.
So, as we think about, go
I
ahead.
do want to talk about something else.
Go ahead.
We need to find a way to get communication to the NFL to stop fucking booking these horrible goddamn halftime shows.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Yes. Okay, hold on. Before we go into halftime, your mom's checking in with us again.
You got to put that on YouTube. So thank you for that.
You know, she knows she's always checking in.
You can get fucking followers now. Thanks a lot.
KC didn't play well, penalties, and never blitzed Brady. That is true. That is a very good observation. Brady had a clean pocket.
They never went out
entire game. Now, again, I know that offensive line is protecting their life off because they got TB12 back there, but you've seen when he gets pressured, it's when he throws a couple of those questionable throws.
And that's what I think made the difference in the Saints games, in the Packers games. They were not afraid to go after him. The KC played scared.
I think so too.
Yeah, they play scared. And when you let Tom Brady have all the time he had in the world back there, it's going to have it's going to be that way. You know what I mean? I'm going to tell you now, I do not like the halftime show that showed up. When they told me the weekend was performing, I was like, oh, God. Oh, boy. Let me tell you something. This fucking guy. If you let him on here right now, I'm leaving. No, I'm just kidding. Let him on there. I'm good with that.
Yeah, I'm going to send him the link.
Send him the link. Let's have this out here early in the morning.
But talk about this halftime show. How atrocious was it? But again, you know what though? It's not the weekend's fault.
I didn't even like the commercials for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I overall I thought that was terrible.
Usually they have better commercials.
Real quick, Ladokin against checking. Did you guys notice all the plays on offense? Oh, yeah, that's credit from the front. That's what we were just talking about.
You had to because Evans and God. I just don't think Brady was going to trust him with a Super Bowl win. I think he was going to go through his guy Gronk, and like you said, he's going to check down.
And we're going to talk about a 2021 preview, early preview later. Now these guys have all gotten this year under their belt with Brady.
All right.
I have a new record they're breaking next year.
If they're not going undefeated, so stop.
We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it.
Defeated. You're not.
Lascano comes in again. The commercials were horrible.
They were bad.
Bushman, I sent you the link.
I didn't find any funny ones. Like, can you think of any funny ones that you saw?
No, but okay. So the halftime performance, okay, it's not the weekend's fault.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why.
Why?
After seeing Shakira and Jennifer Lopez, there is no other halftime show that America can put on that is going to ever top.
Well,
what we saw last year.
My top three performances was Janet Jackson's Super Bowl.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, which is a Timberlake.
Okay. Yeah. And then Shakira, J-Lo, and then Bruno Mars. I know that sounds crazy.
Yeah, Bruno Mars is pretty good. Yeah,
but everything else was
After Shakira and J-Lo, there is going to be no other Super Bowl halftime show. I said the only way the Weeknd can save this is if some female comes on the show and joins him, and it never did.
And the NFL is not going to let Cardi B do this. No. You know what I mean? They're not going to let they're not going to let what's her name? Oh man, what's the chick's name? Megan Thee Stallion. They're not going to let her come on here. No. Let us see a little bit body yada 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 yada. They're not going to let us see that. You know what I mean?
No. I'm just glad I did not bring Miley Cyrus on the show and let her do that Wrecking Ball song on stage, because I would have turned TV off.
Walk around everywhere. I think it would have been better watching the Weeknd just walk around doing these songs, and a lot of his songs are TikTok dances. So sorry, remember
I'm gonna bring in our friend. He's ready.
Oh my God,
he's ready. He's been licking the chops the entire time.
Oh my Jesus! If he has a Coors Light this early in the morning, take him off the air. Take him off the air if he's got a Coors Light this early. Good morning, sir. How are you doing? How are you feeling? You look hungover.
I'm a little hungover. I'm a little tired. But I want to say this, Raul. You sound like an old man Sending back a bowl of soup at a deli because it's cold.
Yes.
Of all the complaining you've been doing about the Super Bowl,
this is the problem.
All the complaining. You were.
I couldn't believe
is there anything?
Super Bowl.
Don't give me that.
The coin toss went the wrong way.
Don't give me that ticky tack bullshit excuse. Those were legit calls. Yes.
Bro, no way. So you're telling me, wait a minute.
Are you and Tyrann Mathieu? Are you guys Facebook friends? Is that why? Are you guys besties right now?
My best man at my wedding. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. But what I'm saying is, if it went the other way, wait. If
it went the other way, they'd be valid calls, just like they were valid calls.
No way.
Yes way.
There's commentators saying the same exact thing I was right after the Super Bowl. Right after the Super Bowl, they were saying the same exact thing. You don't call that in a Super Bowl. It's too close to call it, so you don't call that.
Let's throw that out the window. You don't call that in the Super Bowl. A penalty is a penalty. Super Bowl, regular season, NFC Championship.
There was no tugging a jersey. Falling on the ground.
So are you saying in the NFC Championship that last pass interference call wasn't a valid one when he tore the jersey off Godwin?
No, absolutely.
Okay, so that's a valid call. A lot of people were saying that was ticky tack.
No, that was a valid call because you see shirt and jersey being pulled. You did not see any of that.
What the Chiefs did was they beat themselves. They had too many penalties, and they got angry. They got frustrated because the Bucs were beating them. And
I think they got angry because they knew that this is bullshit calls, though.
They weren't getting angry because they were bullshit calls because they were doing this to themselves.
So the ball being thrown out of bounds in the back of the end zone is a good call.
Yes.
When you have to lower your voice and say that, I know it doesn't matter.
Listen, the game is over. The goat beat the baby goat. Kansas City came in unprepared. They tried to do the same shit they tried to do in Week 12, and it did not work. Todd Bowles threw the kitchen sink at him and did it. And their defensive schemes were correct. Blitz 4, cover 2. You got to make sure you guys have guys in the backfield to cover Kittle and dude, Tyreek Hill was shut down. That's another elite wide receiver on that list. Michael Thomas, Devontae Adams, and now Tyreek Hill that was shut down in these playoffs. Like the defense was shut down. The only guy that didn't shut down was Kittle. That's only because Kittle's a tree trunk and you can't cover him.
Kelsey, you talking about
Kelsey, I'm sorry. Kelsey's a tree trunk. You can't cover him. He got over 100 yards, but you can't cover him. But he didn't score. I'm okay with it. They shut them down completely.
That's what the referees making those calls is.
Don't give me that.
Again,
listen, don't give me that.
I said it to George. I said it to everybody. The referees' calls does not control the outcome of the game. I've said that the Bucs still win the game, no matter what, because you got to score a touchdown. There's no way you can't fucking do anything about it. You have to score touchdowns. I just didn't like they're beating the shit out of them. Let them continue with this shit. Don't fucking give an asterisk.
I get it. There's not going to be an asterisk on this.
No. I know, but Chiefs fans will always be an asterisk.
Well, you know what? The Chiefs. Listen, the Chiefs are probably going to be back here many, many times.
Right.
You know, they have. Listen, they shouldn't have to complain about anything. They had a great season.
They did.
They're going to be probably back next year. Probably maybe have to face the Buccaneers again. So they should maybe they played an all right game. I think Patrick Mahomes' turf toe really had a major factor into that, and also the Bucs defense was in his face a lot.
The whole night.
That was the most complete game I've ever seen the Bucs play this season. And I think Tom Brady said this before the game. We have yet to play our best game. And that was their best game.
And I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that because the Bucs just fucking wiped.
I'm gonna get you a ref's jersey for your birthday or Christmas. By
the way, my birthday's in 2 days.
Okay.
There you go.
I'll be waiting for it.
Should I get you a sad Patrick Mahomes meme or a sad Tyrann Mathieu just
Michael
crying?
Jordan on my face type shit?
Have they reported about what the conversation Tom Brady and Tyrann Mathieu were having in that John session?
Neither one will talk about what was said.
Yes. And now here's another one. Here's another one. That's a penalty. I love it. It's just jaw jacking.
Hold on.
Talking shit.
But then you can say, okay, I don't think Antoine Winfield Jr. getting unsportsmanlike conduct just for going up the peace sign up to Tyreek Hill that shouldn't have been a penalty. And Hill does that all the time. He did that the last game they played.
He's changed his gloves.
Yeah.
So it's a yellow glove with black on his fingers, so he can say peace by having his hand open.
Right.
He's changed his gloves to adapt
Romo,
Winfield should have been penalized. I don't think he should have got it. Because to me, when he did it, I started fucking laughing.
Even Tyreek Hill started to laugh. Tyreek Hill started to laugh too, which I thought was that's great, man. I think Tyron should have known better to jaw at Tom Brady, because if you jaw at Tom Brady, you're gonna get penalized. It's Tom Brady.
It's Tom Brady.
And Tom Brady got into his head, and that's that. That's a wrap, son. That's a wrap.
Well, then you almost saw Tom Brady start picking on Tyrann Mathieu.
Yeah,
because he started finding him on defense. Because that matchup of Antonio Brown against Tyrann Mathieu, that doesn't happen in the normally that's Evans.
Yeah,
but you're thinking that's gonna be a jump ball that's gonna get thrown, which is why Tyrann Mathieu was out there, because he was gonna be the taller DB.
Brown routed him up
against Evans, but Antonio Brown comes out there. You're like, oh, he told his boy, you better listen.
Bro,
you better give him
a better slant route than that. Have you ever seen? I mean, going to the outside, flip the hips. I mean, and not even just stick it to get back inside. I mean, a full fucking bro. That's Tyrann Mathieu. I know he's fucking eating himself this morning. Like, that shit sucks.
He's eating Old Crow right now.
God, that shit was a beautiful route, man.
Oh my goodness.
That shit, I gotta write that down for my receivers at Jefferson, because that shit.
Right?
I said this on we did our pre-show yesterday at Rafferty's, and like Gronk, I said Gronk is gonna have a huge day because it's the Super Bowl. He's been kind of quiet all season long. He's been more of a passing tight end, and what do you know? 2 touchdowns. I honestly thought Gronk should have deserved the MVP over Brady.
That's exactly what same thing.
10 minutes ago, I was like, if anybody, I think he kind of deserves it a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it could be Brady because it's Brady's 7th, and right. But he definitely deserved it because the way he was blocking the defensive ends, he was a huge help.
Comes out of retirement and cushy retirement, comes back. Everybody thought, Gronk's not going to be the same Gronk. Obviously, he wasn't. He wasn't. I mean, he was really quiet all season long, but to show out in all the games, the Super Bowl, 2 touchdowns.
You know what I love also was Gronk's post game. He dropped the gem, and I don't know if you guys caught it. Him and Tom Brady, he said, well, last year during the season, me and Tom will have conversations about Tom leaving. Tom was going to leave no matter what the outcome was at the Patriots. And I'm laughing like, he said, he might go down to Tampa Bay. This is during the season.
Yeah.
Tom already knew he wanted to go down there.
Kaylee brought this up on Play the Bay, and she goes, this was predetermined. She's like, Tom Brady was scouting this out. Tom Brady was thinking about this 2 years ago about leaving New England and either retiring or possibly going to another team. And she hit the nail right in the head. He was planning this out.
Yeah.
No matter if they won another championship in New England or not, he was planning. Man. Yeah, he was planning out his second coming or his renaissance.
Yeah. It was very, very smart on their part, man. And Tom Brady, what can you say? 43 years old.
There's no more conversation. He's the greatest of all time.
Oh, absolutely.
In any sport. Because now you're not in football. He's achieved football.
Well,
now he's not
a champion.
So you can say it could be an all time because we've never seen a 43-year-old athlete switch teams and win championships. Now we've seen players come close, like Joe Montana did with Kansas City when he came over to Kansas City from the 49ers. Came close. Michael Jordan, well, obviously with the Wizards, not so much.
What's on his checklist? Because you know why he came to Tampa was, you know what, Manning
talent, man.
He won with the Colts and he won with the Broncos.
Yeah.
He's like, you know what? I can't let. It's always that inner rivalry between him and Manning.
Yeah,
both of them. Right. So he's like, I'm gonna go somewhere else and win. Also, you got to think there's only one thing left for him to do.
Yeah,
and that's perfection.
Yeah.
Hey George, real quick, I'm just letting you know now.
Norm,
I'm going to get a phone call from Norm. If you have my phone, Norm, if you got my number, give me a call. Just so you know, L. Bushman, this is a guy that we coached with for many, many years. We love him to death. He hates Tom Brady.
He's a Bucs hater, Tom Brady hater.
I think he's a Tom Brady hater. He doesn't like Tom Brady. He doesn't like him at all. He definitely doesn't like LeBron James either. But those are two subjects we just can't talk about. But if he calls in, Norm, if you're watching, call my phone. I could patch you right through. It's not a problem, and we'll all be able to listen to you and stuff, man. You'll be all right.
I would say Jordan and Brady are now at the mountaintop together. One and one.
You've never seen this before. You've never seen this before, man. And even though, like, I was going for Tom Brady when he was making that run for 17-0, I was like, I got to see this shit. Like, it's going to be my lifetime. I was going for him because you've never. Oh, there he goes. Hold on one second, guys. Here he is. Hey, Norm, it's Raul, George, and L. Bushman. You're with us, man, live on Facebook. What's going on, man? Oh, you there, bro?
Looks like you lost him.
No, he's there. I can hear him. Hold on. Let's get this guy. Norm, can you hear us now?
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go. What's going on, boss? Norm, I know you hear me, man.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah. I can hear you, bro. Good morning, fellas. How y'all doing?
We're good, man. What you immediately wanted to call. What do you have to say about Super Bowl 55 and the performance of the Bucs last night? What do you got?
I mean, I'll put it like this, man. The Bucs. I agree with what you said as far as I felt like they were going to win the game regardless.
Right.
They're a very talented team. Across on both sides of the ball, but the refs really took this game from a lot of the fans, a lot of true fans, man. Because I really look at the NFL product from a totally different perspective. Just looking at that game yesterday, because it was unnecessary, man. It was 3 or 4 calls that really changed the dynamic of the game. The Chiefs had no chance after that. You know what I mean? So. It was some calls that were really horrible.
Yeah.
For a Super Bowl, I've never seen that many flags in a Super Bowl, period.
I
We're
agree
talking
with
about
that.
a Super Bowl game. Let alone the first half. We're talking about the game. I've never seen that many calls in a Super Bowl.
Right. I agree with that part.
I gotta ask a question about.
Hold on.
Okay.
I have breaking news.
Oh.
What do you have?
I gotta share my screen with you.
Oh.
We have Mahomes Giselle beef on social media.
What?
We have Giselle and Mahomes.
Shut up.
Are going at it right now. I gotta zoom this in, but if you see the top headline here,
is that Randy
Mahomes? Is Mahomes' mom?
Oh God.
Okay, she goes on social media.
First of all, if I was Patrick, I'd be like, "Mom, please don't do this. Don't do this, Mom. Come on,
you can't do it.
Both need to fall back.
Nope, can't do it.
If you have the refs on your team, is that really winning? And she tagged Giselle.
Damn.
Tagged
I like Mama Mahomes, man. Oh man, that's good shit.
Yeah, but did the refs, did the refs do anything about? Did the refs, stop Kansas City from scoring? No,
they did not. But it definitely slowed momentum.
No, they didn't.
Like, I get it. I get it. I get it. I get the complaints about the refs. I get it. It happens every Super Bowl that Tom Brady's in or any other team is in about refs being on one side or the other. But did the refs stop the Chiefs from scoring? No, the Bucs defense did.
But that's why we're saying the game.
You gonna let me answer your question?
Yeah, let him answer. Go ahead. L. Bushman's very passionate about his Bucs. Go ahead.
So the game was already, the Bucs D was going to have have a field day regardless. You got 5 backups, bro, up front. All right, so you got 4 of the premier rushers up front on the Bucs D. So they were going to have a field day regardless, whether blitzing, letting the front 4 go have their day, have their way, dropping back in coverage and taking away everything. Todd Bowles had the option to do whatever he wanted to do. All right, so no, the refs didn't have nothing to do with that. All right, the defense plays stellar. That's what they do. They have a great defense. I'm not taking away nothing from the defense. However, when the defense is making plays and you take that away on third down to give them more time on the field, to give them another first down, to get a first down, to get a touchdown, that shit is tremendous on the defense. That's not even on that. You know, that's kind of banged up as well. And their defense is probably their weakest link. So if your defense is on the field the entire game for a great percentage of the game, then what you expect, bro?
Yeah,
they're making plays, but then they're giving it back to them. Like if they had a field goal, you caught an offside field goal, but nobody moved.
I get it.
Norm,
I get it.
The only thing that I disagree with is you had 2 weeks to prepare.
Thank you.
You knew your O-line issues after the Bills game. You knew who you were playing with.
Thank you.
You had 2 entire weeks. If you give me the listen, and I'm gonna give you a story. And Raul,
City.
I'm gonna let you finish.
Thank you. That was a Kanye West line, by the way. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish, George.
And I'm gonna give you a story. 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago, I took over a varsity team at Jefferson, who was an AC, went 5-5, and you gave me 2 weeks to prepare for the number one team in our district, in our bracket, which was Hardy, down in whatever middle of nowhere. And we went out there and we beat the brakes off of them. What did I do different? Nothing. Same offense, right? We prepared the kids to win. You gave me 2 weeks to prepare for anybody. I like me.
Yeah.
You cannot tell me Andy Reid, who is probably going to be a Hall of Fame coach, because he's done something that no coaches have done before. Right? He's taken 2 different teams and 2 different conferences to the Super Bowl game. You're going to tell me him and Eric Bieniemy, who is this magician of a coordinator.
Yeah.
And there is no creativity on offense. And even that, okay, you have a bad line. So, Norm, what do you do when you have a bad offensive line? You use your running backs to chip.
Go through the wing team. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Yeah, you go to wing team. You go to your running backs to chip. You keep another tight end. Yes, you want Kelsey out there. Bring another tight end. You still got Hill, Kelsey, another receiver. You bring another tight end just to help your tackles out. It's what the Bucs. So L. Bushman was talking about Gronk, and Gronk showed up in the Super Bowl. Gronk's been playing left tackle, the second left tackle, to Donovan Smith, for majority of the year, because we understand that is our weakest point, is our left tackle. Last night there was times where he was out there at receiver. Brady motioned him back in to help our rookie tackle and say, you need to go block next to him.
I kept hearing Brady go lefty, lefty, lefty.
Yes.
Yeah. Block that left side. I need help on this left side.
Constantly. And they made the adjustments. I think all the excuses with people saying it's the refs, they had a shoddy offensive line, that's just haters, man. You're drinking your Haterade, you're eating your hater tots. You're eating your hater tots.
Or is it a fact that their O-line had backups? Which one is it? Is it a fact that their O-line had backups?
Backups are startars. You have the next man up to replace the guy that's started. I don't want to hear excuses about they've got a shoddy offensive line. We had our backups come up. That your backups are supposed to be the next guy up to replace the starters. They should be able to replace them instead of being ran over by the Tampa Bay D, which they were last night. Fire the Cans! It's championship time. Let's go.
Hey George. So to address what you said, George. Okay, so what you're not saying is they had to take a backup right guard, put him at left tackle, take a left tackle, a backup left tackle, put him at right guard. Like they were playing mismatch, bro, to try to figure out an O-line. So let's not try to dummy down trying to fix a decimated O-line at the NFL level, bro, when you got Dominican Sue, Vita, JPP, and your boy Barrett on the front four. Like, you're not just going to sit here and say that you could just plug in players, bro, that are second and third stringers.
Norm, I totally agree with you.
I'm not saying that at all. Like, what I'm saying is, if you know it's bad, help them.
Right.
Help them.
No,
you know it's bad.
But there was
he ran motion and he did some of that, bro.
The Chiefs should have had it back in the entire game.
Bro, Norm, I totally agree with you on what you're saying. I agree that they had a backup offensive line, but I also agree with George in the sense of you give 2 weeks. Now, here's a funny thing. Nothing compared to what high school did. Nothing compared to what the Bucs did. But I'm going to get my shot in just because you know me. I'm a petty dude. The same thing.
We all know this by the refs comments. So we all know.
Yes, exactly. Norm, the same thing with when I had to coach the Jaguars 11U team. You gave me 3 weeks on a team that they told me cannot be beaten. They can't do nothing, and they got a first round bust that we bust their ass open on the first round, and we beat them because we had time to prepare. That's the part that I didn't like about the offensive side. They didn't run screens. They did not help Mahomes bring in an extra blocker because the front four was killing them. I agree with you totally, Norm, that was a makeshift, and Todd Bowles could do whatever he wanted to do on Mahomes. I agree with you completely. But on the side of that, they still got to put up points because remember, Eric Beane's he's being considered one of the greatest offensive minds right now. We're all pushing for him to be a head coach. Him and Andy Reid. I would like to know, and I never will, but I would like to know what was going on in the headsets, upstairs, downstairs, because first half, if that was the game plan, it didn't fucking work. What were you thinking in halftime to come out and do something different? And they didn't do shit different. That's the part that I don't like either.
They didn't, bro. And I agree with you from there.
Yeah.
I'm not taking no slack off the play calling. It wasn't the greatest. You know what I mean? But I just feel like half really dictated the game. Like the first half determined the game. To me, it did too, bro.
And that's why Del Bushman likes to bust my chops here with saying about the referees, because me and you, we've coached football, and not to say Del Bushman doesn't know football. We all see football. I've never seen a little petty call like that being called over and over and over and over. You know what I mean? Like
exactly. And they weren't in the play. They didn't impact the play. These are flags that were being called on guys that were not in the play.
Right.
It didn't impact the play at all. Like, come on, man.
There's a couple. And
let these guys play ball.
Oh, is that the shot right there? Norm, I know you can't see this, but right now I'm watching Mahomes fall on the ground but throw a freaking dart.
This is the one where he threw a 40-yard dot to Tyreek Hill that he hit him on the helmet.
The Chiefs had a couple of chances where they could have scored touchdowns, but they couldn't catch balls.
The receivers dropped balls.
They did.
Yeah, absolutely.
Balls. They made some. They didn't make their plays when they should have too.
Right.
But I really just didn't like the one-sided calling, man.
It was rough.
I'm not taking nothing. I'm not saying that KC just got flat out robbed because they had plays they should have made.
Right.
But the lopsided calling, bro, it was just ridiculous, man.
It was a little hard to swallow. You're right.
Yeah, man. It's like, come on. This is Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Let them play.
Let them play. Absolutely.
Let them play.
Did the refs, dictate if the Chiefs wide receivers caught passes too?
No, but I'm sure there'd have been an offensive pass interference somewhere thrown if they did catch touchdowns. Because
there's a couple of touchdowns that the Chiefs could have had, but they couldn't catch the ball.
It looked like if the Chiefs were drinking the wrong color Gatorade for a while there in the first
bouncing off their helmet, bouncing off their hands. Like this game could have been a lot closer if they would have caught those touchdowns.
Oh, I totally agree with you. Now, I'm not taking away.
Did the refs have anything to do with their hands not catching the ball?
Okay. But they do have to do.
But the refs had something to do with that field goal being turned into a touchdown.
No, I'm just busting
that third down.
What?
That third
he
down
lined up offsides.
Third down being punt. Huh?
George,
the guy didn't move, bro. Everybody was aligned on the same level. Nobody moved.
Right, but he's saying that he was
right. The guy was offside to begin with.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah.
He was not offside to begin with.
Lined up because you were on the field and know it.
He was aligned on the same level.
Because George, he's watching on live. Can you find a picture of?
I actually know he was off. I actually know he was offsides because I was the guy that ran onto the field.
You were last night. You were there.
I was the guy in the pink leotard because he was.
Which, by the way, that guy's the only one. That's the only guy for the Kansas City Chiefs that reached the end zone. That's the only guy that was able to reach down there. That's
I hate
funny.
it though, bro.
I know you do, man. I know you do, man.
I hate it.
You got another caller?
How we talking? And we hearing all this GOAT talk. Here we go with the GOAT talk.
But
who else
come on,
George,
come on,
listen,
come
Norm,
on.
I was with you when you're right. Now I'm with you when you're right. But it's hard to deny a man with 7 Super Bowls, whether they're questionable or not.
I get it. I'm not saying he's not great.
Right.
He's not my GOAT, but I get it. I mean, he's in a He was in a division with no QB competition. You know, he was one of the weakest divisions prior to coming over here to the NFC.
But now, Norm, he comes over.
Is that his fault? That's like saying,
it's not his fault.
That's Peyton Manning 2.0, bro. That's Peyton Manning 2.0. Didn't Peyton Manning do the same thing with the Broncos?
I mean, they had a tremendous defense. Yeah,
defense won the Broncos that Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Brady comes over and Brady came over in one of the hardest divisions in the league.
Yeah, listen. Now, Norm, I'm with you when you're right now, but you got to think they were able to go through the Saints. They were able to go through the Packers, and now Mahomes.
Okay.
He kind of even if you didn't think he was a GOAT, damn, he's a great fucking player for that. You know what I mean?
You want to? Are we going to talk about those teams though? He went against the Redskins, right? You had a quarterback. You had a
football team. We can't say Redskins no more.
Yeah, my fault.
You're good.
The Washington football team. You went against the Washington football team with a one-legged quarterback that was on the sideline. They pulled in a QB off the. You know, he was bagging groceries. They brought him in.
Yeah,
correct. Right. So they beat them. Then you face Breeze. Breeze was out, bro, with broken ribs and a punctured lung. So you're gonna tell me that a quarterback with broken ribs and a punctured lung is gonna come back after 4 weeks?
I want to hear his excuse.
Come on, man.
Who?
I want to hear his excuse about Aaron Rodgers.
They just beat him.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
They
we got 2 playoff wins.
They won.
See, my guy Norm, he's emotional, but he beat him. He's a fair guy. Is that the picture of the runner?
I'm gonna call a spade, bro.
How did this guy get on the field?
Regardless of my hate, I'm gonna call a spade. They won, but this ain't all on Brady. Let's not act like Brady had a stellar year, like he was just the reason the Bucs got there, man. It was the man finished with a 72 QBR just above was it Baker Mayfield?
But Norm, you gotta admit though, you know what I'm saying? He had to change. I think it took him weeks to do it because of COVID. They couldn't be team bonding at first, right? They couldn't get in there. But bro, he did change the mindset of that Bucs. No, I'm just saying, Norm, like think about it. The person that's probably hurting the most right now is not Mahomes. It's probably Winston, who's in New Orleans right now, just fucking kicking furniture and smacking dogs because it looks like he was the problem. Because
he was the problem.
I can't say that, man, because it was one bad year. You got to look at it like this as well. The Glaciers went and spent money. When did the Bucs ever sign this many free agents ever, dude?
Never. They
went and drafted the top tackle in the draft, and they went and signed crazy free agents. Everybody on the market.
They got Antonio Brown for cheap. They got Leonard Fournette for cheap. The only guy they really spent money on was Gronk.
They are fucking athletes, bro. What are you talking about?
Gronk wasn't paid. We took over the contract.
How are you going to spend money on free agents when free agents weren't available at the time Winston was there? And nobody wanted to play there. Nobody wanted to play with that organization.
That's the other part.
That's a lie.
That's
a lie. Free agents were available.
Hold on, Norm.
Brady though.
Hold on, Norm. Let me ask you a question, Norm.
Mm-hmm.
If I called you tomorrow and I said, Norm, I need you to coach with me, right? Everything works out situation-wise. What do you say? What do you say?
I'm with you.
You with me, right? So now, if another guy calls you that hasn't won a game, that is a terrible coach, and that you don't respect, calls you and says the same thing to you, says, Norm, I need you, man. Will you come play with me? Will you come coach with me? You're like, you know what, man? Let me check my schedule. Let me call you back in a couple of days. And then it never happens. Why? Because, again, people didn't want to come to Tampa.
Nobody wanted to play there.
Now,
the Tom Brady effect. It's not the Jameis Winston effect.
I can't 100%. I can't 100% agree with. I get what you're saying. Part of that I agree with.
Norm lifts a lot of weights.
Part of it, I agree with it because I know that I get what you're saying. But Brady, it's the Brady effect. I understand that. You're right. He's a winner. They know that.
There it is. He said it.
They see it. It's a setup. I get it. I'm not going to deny that, bro. But let's not let's not do this when the Bucs already, the Bucs were already a talented team prior to Tom coming, right?
Agreed.
We know this,
Agreed.
right? They were a talented team. The only thing they were missing was a running game, a consistent running game.
No. Only thing missing was a quarterback that could actually win them games.
But look, the one thing y'all don't want to acknowledge.
Only thing missing was a quarterback that could.
When did he ever have a head coach and a coaching staff for more than a year? How many coaches did he have throughout his career? The whole time he was there with the Bucs.
I got to see where this is going.
You switch head coaches and coaching staff.
No.
He had Dirk Cutter for 2. He had Dirk Cutter for 2 years.
And he had
Cutter.
So hold on.
You really standing up for Cutter?
Hold on. No. You asked the question.
I gave you an answer.
He actually had Dirk Cutter for 4. He had Dirk Cutter for 4 years because Dirk Cutter was the OC with Lovey when they drafted Jameis, and Cutter replaced Lovey to progress Winston along. So Cutter and Winston were
Cutter
together
for 4 years is like having Adam Case for 10. That doesn't mean anything. Like that guy.
No, I agree with you. But Norm question was, how many coaches did Jameis go through?
Right.
He did not go through as many.
But did Cutter change offensive coordinators? Who was the offensive coordinator during Cutter's years, though?
Cutter remained as the OC the entire time.
And Todd Monken. Todd Monken and Cutter they shared duties on the offensive coordinator.
That was a loaded question. I apologize, guys. I knew the answer. I just wanted to say it.
But okay, so let's dial it back. Okay, Tom Brady goes into a system first year, new offensive coordinator, new head coach, goes to the Super Bowl. Jameis Winston.
I'm willing to beg that.
Jameis Winston, same offensive coordinator for 4 years in a row, can't do nothing.
But Brady didn't go into a new system. Tampa went into a new system because Brady calls the shots. Like, hey guys, I know you have a playbook, and that's really cute, but let me show you what we do over here in the Brady world. Let me show you what we really do. Here's my playbook. Yeah, here's my playbook. This is what I'm gonna call. Let me know which play you're on. Because Brady all night, I don't know if you noticed the wristband, he's pointing like I'm going to number 5.
Give me personnel for 5. Give me personnel for 5.
Did you see when he yelled at the people? Did you see when he yelled at everybody? Nope. Stay the same. I want the same guys. Nope. He's telling them, do not switch my guys.
So real quick, I'm going back to this breaking news.
Hold on, George. Go ahead, Norm. Go ahead, real quick, because I got 5 other people calling. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm about to get off. Yeah. Hey, the one thing that I will say to piggyback off what you said as far as Arians and the coaching. Yeah, Arians was being bullheaded at first.
Absolutely.
Until he realized that he was expendable.
Yes.
He saw that they weren't going to, they wasn't going to let Brady go. Nope. They'll let his ass go and bring in another coach to do what Brady wanted to do.
Bruce Arians, all he had to do was be the Larry Coker of the Miami Hurricanes.
I've got a question. I've got a question for Norm.
Get the ass in line.
That's it.
Norm, I've got a question for you before you get on out of here. Let's take Tom Brady out of the equation. If you put Jameis Winston back in with everything that Tom Brady had this season, do you think they go to the Super Bowl and win it?
I don't think they would go to the Super Bowl.
Thank you.
I think they would definitely be in the playoffs. I think they would definitely be in the playoffs. But I mean, Brady is a better quarterback than Jameis. There's no denying that. I'm not going to sit up here and say I'm not.
So the quarterback on his level. Matter what system, he was the problem. No matter what system, he would not have gotten them to the Super Bowl.
That's true though, bro. Because you got to look at it like this too. What they were asking Jameis to do. Like they were really putting all the weight on him, right? If you look at the play calling from last year, you did a lot of throwing. Like you didn't have 2 running backs that eclipsed 1,000 yards, bro. Jameis was your 3rd leading rusher on the team.
We didn't have that either this year.
Like you didn't have no fucking running back.
You did have a better running game this year.
Jones he barely missed 1,000 yards this year. And he got 4, and you brought in Fournette. He got hurt, you know what I mean? So he came in a little later. But come on, man, let's not act like that. Don't act like that running game was not effective this year. That you didn't have that shit last year.
I tell you what, watching them run down their throats the second half,
last year, last year, this year, it wouldn't have made a difference. The Bucs wouldn't have been in the Super Bowl without Tom Brady. So.
And again, congratulations to the Bucs. I give you congratulations.
Congratulations to y'all.
I just don't like ticky-tack calls, man.
That's all I wanted to hear. Norm was a congratulations from me. That's all I wanted to hear.
Well, fuck Brady, man. That's all I don't like that. Fuck Brady. You know what I mean? Fuck y'all. Fuck you. I'm still saying fuck you now, but I still salute you. I'm gonna congratulate you, Bucs fans. I give it.
Yeah,
you did your thing,
but
you earned it. You got there.
It's still a fuck you. Yeah, I know.
Exactly.
I love you, Norm, man. You have a great day, bro. I'm going to hit you up later, man.
Y'all boys be easy, man. Y'all have a great day, man.
All right, Norm.
So, Mama Mahomes.
That's our guy. So, listen, you got to understand something about – let me give you something about Norm real quick, a Bushman. He's a defensive coordinator.
He is.
So anything – yeah, and I played defense in high school and college, so – that's why I think it's a little bit more like, fuck, that's a ticky-tack call. That's bullshit. Like, I get called for that now? Fuck that.
That whole Jameis Winston argument just annoys the hell out of me, man. Well,
I agree with you in the sense. If Brady's not there, give the same weapons and you bring in.
And I also get the argument, too. Like, listen, Winston had to deal with coaching changes, different OCs. Yeah. I get it. But if you are in the pros, you have to adapt to it and roll out. You cannot excuse his dumbass playing, his lack of accuracy, and then throwing all those interceptions. And yes, he can't see where shit until now. Like dude, if it takes you
5 years to
realize you can't see shit, there's a problem. Like maybe
how do you do it in college?
Maybe
how did you do it in college?
What do you mean how?
In college they have a lot of like really day games at noon.
No, in college the biggest difference. No. The biggest difference is the fucking board, the sign.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I'm talking about reading a defense.
Yeah.
No, he didn't have to. You gave it to Devin Cook.
He gave it to Dalvin Cook and also Kelvin Benjamin.
Kelvin Benjamin,
6'7" receiver.
But if it takes you 5 years to realize I can't see shit, come on, bro. Come on,
I totally agree.
This could have been corrected year one.
He also had the same trainer since he was 15 years old. Who, no offense to the guy, I know he's tied to you, he's family. He's not progressing you in what NFL is going to be thrown at you. You should have done the work. You should have gone to somewhere else and did. Me watching Winston dodge a fucking huge ball around his head. I don't know if you saw that video. I was like, this is the fucking franchise. Jesus Christ.
I watched him like, oh God, we're so doomed. We're so doomed. I'm like, oh.
These are the workouts that you guys are doing. I'm watching Drew Brees do CrossFit and shit, and this guy's freaking dodging a big-ass punching bag. But I just think Winston didn't do the work. You know what I mean? I don't think he understood coverages. I don't think he understood. I really don't think he would freaking I don't remember Winston really audibling. Do you remember him?
What was the question?
How are you going to audible? Seeing him audible.
You can't audible if you can't see.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't audible if you don't know the playbook.
Listen, if it turns out Winston is going to be the starter in New Orleans, and
did you see Did you see the recent report that came out from New Orleans?
No.
Drew Brees is considering signing a league minimum deal of $500,000.
I saw Shefty tweet something out. He was going to restructure his contract where that $24 million. Was going to give them more. Yeah.
But that's what they
do
for him
to come back.
No, that's what they do for retirement.
No.
Yeah, I think that's what they do for retirement.
Back. He's a free agent. No.
If he retires, they have to. But if he retires, they outright pay him this lump sum. I think you have to. He takes the way they did it with Marino back in.
Raul may be right because they think the $24 million would be dispersed among the team to help bring them in to give them more money. So that might be part of the retirement. He
gets it over time. So the Saints still pay him after he retires for like the next 7-8 years or whatever it is. They
that baseball contract. The Mets have to
pay. The Bobby Bonilla contract.
Yeah. So I think he gets paid for like another 8 years after he retires.
Yeah.
From the NFL,
I think Brees is going to be gone. And
I think so too.
It's going to be a battle of either Winston or Taysom Hill, or you never know. Like the Saints could either.
But you still have so many quarterbacks that are leaving. Yeah. You have so many quarterbacks that you have no idea who's going to show up. You know what I mean?
And you never know. They can make a trade for Carson Wentz. They can make a trade.
Jeez, I hope they don't.
I hope they do.
Carson, for you.
Bring Wentz, please.
Yeah, we love the guy. Yeah, bring him. I think Wentz is going to the Bears or some shit. I heard. Well, maybe that's
the two teams interested in him are right now the Colts and the Bears, which would be funny as hell because the Bears would be trading away Nick Foles back to
get Wentz.
Philly. And they'd be trading away Nick Foles, Tyreek Cohen, and then a first rounder.
I feel like Philly fans would love Nick Foles back, but
that's the only place he had success was in Philly. And right now, are you going to trust Jalen Hurts as your starting quarterback? Fuck no.
Oh, I wouldn't. If I'm the Colts, why the fuck do I want Carson Wentz?
Dude, if you put him, he's back with Frank Wright, where he had the most success when he was a quarterback in Philly. The Colts have one of the best offensive lines in the league right now. One of the best defenses as well. I think that would be a great trade for Wentz, but the thing is, you got to get him another wide receiver, man. You got to give him another. You got to give him a number one.
You think Ty stays there? I don't think Ty stays.
No, I think Ty maybe either.
He might be gone, right?
He might retire.
Really?
I think it depends on the quarterback that comes in.
That's true too, because if Wentz comes over,
he
will probably stay. Yeah, he will probably stay.
About another year.
Yeah,
but if they're drafting a rookie,
I'm not taking him Wentz, man. That's not a good look. Like I'm pushing for Deshaun Watson or some shit. Like I'm not trying to go get fucking Wentz.
I think the market for Watson now is getting shrinking. It's shrinking.
He's not going to play next year.
You think he's going to hold out?
Oh God, man, he doesn't. He's adamant about not playing there.
Well, I mean, we talked about this before last time I was on. Like the teams that could possibly make a move are the Jets, the Dolphins, and maybe the Colts. But it's like who is gonna give up a lot, because Stafford has really set the bar of what you're gonna give up for a quarterback. And Stafford's, Watson is well above ahead Stafford
or anybody else.
So when it comes to Watson and bringing him over in the trade, you are giving up a king's ransom to bring him over. You know what I mean? So it's and I know the Texans want a lot. They want two or three number ones, number two. You got to swap out a quarterback. And I think they want 2 defensive players as well.
That's GameStop. I mean, they want everything.
Yeah, they want a lot. So it's Watson may hold out.
He will.
I think he may hold out.
For people that are out there, if you guys are looking for great daytime entertainment for today, go follow Mahomes' mom. Follow Randy Mahomes, because she is on one.
I think she may have called out the wrong kind of bear. Because have you ever seen Giselle get mad on Twitter?
No, I have not.
Remember, she's Brazilian.
So
she'll hit you with the Spanish cuss words. She'll hit you with the English.
All of it.
She'll come at you.
So another interesting tweet. She goes, "Thanks ESPN. I definitely remember this dumb y'all comedians now."
Yeah,
so
she's not liking.
There was a picture posted of her baby, right here, 31-9. Mahomes sitting there, and she didn't like it. She did not.
Like it at all. Let me tell you something.
If I was Patty, I'd be like, "Dude, mom, get off social media right now."
If I'm Mahomes, I'm like, "Yeah, mom, tell him, mom, fuck these guys, ma."
It's like, "Ma, put the Twitter down."
Yeah, mom, are you drunk? Are you drunk, mom?
No, and she took a picture. She took a picture with Brady's parents. There's a picture of both parents there.
Listen, if I'm playing in the Super Bowl and I just got my ass kicked the way I just did, I guarantee you my mother's she's doing the same shit, except she's pulling up on somebody.
Don't talk about my baby like that.
That's exactly what my mom was going to say. I seen my mom get into a fight in the stands for a high school game. Trust me, I tell you.
Timeout.
Who? No, I did not. I'm not going up there. My mom's got a mean right hand, bro. I'm not playing with you now. She could throw a punch now. I'm not playing. I'm not going up there. God bless that lady who's fighting my mother. Screw that lady. She's got to deal with that. I'm going to go home and talk shit. Yeah, Mom, I can't believe that lady. Like, I'm not, as long as I don't get the ass whooping.
Well, fellas, I've got to jump off. Thanks
man.
for having me on. Fire them cannons again. Bucs are Super Bowl champions.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Congratulations, man.
Lombardi is back in Tampa Bay. Yeah, we're going to have a fun show tomorrow.
Now the parade
start? Yeah, now the parade's got to start. You going downtown?
I wish I could, man, but I've got, my kids and all that stuff. So I got to be an adult. Awesome. I can't go down there. So,
Well, congratulations again, man, Bushman. Really happy that you came on here and
Bushman, let us have
find
your show.
So tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Play the Bay will be on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and all the other streaming, sites. And then you can follow us on Twitter at Play the Bay TB, and then also on Facebook at Play the Bay 2020, and on Instagram now at Play the Bay.
There you go.
That's what's up, man.
Go follow them.
Absolutely,
You
man.
can see my Stone Cold video, which is on there right now. So
It's freaking
Oh,
awesome.
I got so much beer up my nose, bro. It was hard to sleep last night. I really thought I had to go to the doctor because it was so much Coors Light up my nose. It's crazy.
That's awesome, man.
All right, guys.
Congratulations, big dog. All right, man.
Have a good day.
That was awesome.
That was a blast.
That was a good show. I'm not gonna lie to you.
2 hours in. I love it.
Yeah, I love it. I know there's gonna be a lot for the listeners, but listen to me. You're well worth it. This is well worth it.
Yeah, Bucs are champs, man.
They are, man. Congratulations to the Bucs. Congratulations to Todd Bowles, Bruce Arians. I mean, they did exactly what they said they were going to do, and it is what it is, man. The trifecta is complete now. You have Champa. Is it Champa Bay now? Champa Bay.
Champa Bay
now. So let the party begin, man. It's going to be going on till definitely into OTAs this summer.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Yeah, thanks to everybody checking out the show again. An hour and 45 minutes in. We still got people checking in the show. Find us on Facebook. Go visit the group. We have a group that we talk cash money shit in, have a good time. On the Clock Sports Talk. You can find us listen to the podcast, follow it. If you don't already, on any ask Alexa to find the podcast for you, Pandora, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, whatever you listen to.
iHeartRadio.
We are on there. And visit our website, otcsportstalk.com. Raul, this was a blast.
Yes, it was.
We got to have a great rest of the day. Till next time, fellas, you're on the clock.